How welcoming is Spain for LGBT plus individuals in terms of laws, culture, and everyday life?
Well, I think Spain is a very welcoming country. In fact, we have seen like an increase of applications from our clients. In this case, especially from the US, but from all over the world. In Spain, they have the same rights. Everyone has the same rights. Doesn't matter what is your orientation. So Spain has a lot of rights for everyone. So I think it's very welcoming, and it's very in the culture. It's already in the schools are teaching how to respect and understand and welcome to everyone in different senses. So it doesn't matter where you are from, doesn't matter your orientation, doesn't matter the skin of your face, so or the color of your skin. I mean, so I think Spain is very welcoming, and that is what my clients also feel, which really is what I ask them. How do you feel here in Spain now that you have decided to come?
And I know you're an immigration expert. What legal protections
Mhm.
exist for LGBT plus individuals in Spain and how they compare to other countries?
We have to see that Spain doesn't make any difference. So because it doesn't make any difference, all the rights that we have as a European country, that also we are not only protected by Spain, which I think that there is a big protection. We are also protected by the European Union, that also protect the equality of everyone. So what are the rights we have? I don't know, getting married since 2005. It's a right for everyone in Spain. So in Spain, there is no different regulations in the different areas of the country. In the whole country, they can get married. They can do an adoption. The inheritance, so doing leaving all your goods to your couple. It's okay. I don't know. There are no difference between someone that is married to the same sex couple to someone that is married to the other sex gender. So in Spain, it's different to say what are the protections, because it are the same protection. So there is a ministry in Spain. It's called Ministerio de Igualdad, so like equality ministry, which started in the very beginning, started to protect women, just the same rights women for men, and then developed to protect all the rights from LGTB plus community. They have a special number, the 028, to call, and they will guide them in different areas that they will need. They do psychology support, they do legal support, also educational support. So maybe a school want to give a speech for the children, the ministry can guide to this school to what organization they can talk, so they can come to the school to give the speech. So really, I think there are a lot of rights, all the rights that I have, and so any need that someone can have as a citizen can be covered by our society, by our institutions. Are very concerned about giving the rights to the LGTB plus community, the same as to women that have any problem, the same to a foreigner that comes and doesn't know the language. So it's really very oriented in the equality of everyone.
Absolutely. And just before this interview, I was checking different indexes of equality around the world just to compare Spain to other countries. And well, the first idea that I had is basically there's no other place like Spain that is more welcoming to LGBT plus people. I believe this is my idea from, just like the feeling that I had. But of course, I want to go and check the data. And I found this page called Equal Dex. If you search for LGBT plus index rankings in the world, it comes with different maps. The first one is the equality index, okay, and Spain ranks extremely high. And if we look at the different indexes that are around protecting this community, we have equality index, legal index, and public opinion index. Now, if we center into the legal index, as we can see in this chart here, Spain is at the very top, okay? Only Canada, Germany, and Malta are at the same level in terms of legal protection for LGBT plus community. And if we look also, if we add the other indexes like equality, for example, Spain is even higher than those countries. Only Iceland and Norway might be closer, but yeah, Spain definitely ranks extremely high in legal protection, inequality index, and public opinion index about the LGBT plus. So it is really a fantastic country to move to as an LGBT plus community member. Definitely a factor to have in mind before taking the decision to move.
Also, for example, I've seen clients that need some intervention, like trans that want to get surgery, and it's also covered by public health in Spain. So yes, really something that I think is in our minds and is understood as a need to protect everyone and give what they need in their area.
Are there specific anti-discrimination laws for LGBT plus individuals in workplaces, housing, or public services in Spain?
Yes. As I was saying, there is this number and different institutions that can inform you about the rights and even give you legal defense. Okay, but the thing is, they cannot fire you or not hire you because of your condition, of your if you are LGBT plus. They cannot they cannot not give you a service in health or even in a store, and this is very we are very well aware of this. So it's something from so far in our culture. So I think that the generations right now understand perfectly that is from other world, that you cannot give service or you cannot give a job to someone that doesn't have the same orientation as you. So they are very well protected, and they can legally sue anyone that is discriminating in any area. Jobs, just as a customer or as a client, just to, I don't know, put the children in a school and they maybe don't like that the parents are from the same sex. Everything is very protected and it's very clear in the law.
Does Spain recognize same-sex marriages or civil partnerships for immigration purposes?
Yes, of course. So in Spain, they give the same rights to someone that is married, that to someone that has a registered couple, than to someone that doesn't have a registered couple but can show that they have a stable relationship. And I'm saying this because there are some countries or some areas that doesn't allow to register the couple. Okay, so in this case, if you can show that you've been in a relationship for a year, you qualify in immigration as a family member. Doesn't matter that you don't have the document. It's true that in some countries it's difficult to have some evidences when the same sex couples are banned. But also consulates or Spain, if you apply from Spain, if you are applying from the consulate are aware of this. So they accept testimonies, they accept any kind of evidence that we could show that we have really a relationship. Okay, and that will qualify you as a family member. And a family member has always the same right as the principal in Spain. A nomad can bring a family member, a non-lucrative can bring a family member, a student can bring a family member. So it's important to be able to apply for the family member, even if you don't have a registration of the couple.
Can LGBT couples adopt children in Spain? And how does this affect their legal residency status?
Of course they can. like everyone, there are some limitations, but not because they are from the LGBT plus community. It's because of age. Okay, there are some regulations that you need to be older than 24, I think, but not older than 45. In any case, these kind of things, they also are changing because society is changing, which is the good thing about Spain. But yes, they can do an adoption, international adoption or national adoption. The procedure is different, but the rights are the same. But not only couples, also just one person, if they don't have a relationship, they can also do adoptions, and they can also get treatments in the public health system, treatments to get pregnant if they want. So they are really protected to create a family in Spain.
Is the Digital Nomad Visa a good option for LGBT plus individuals? And what are the key eligibility requirements?
Yes, of course, it's good. As I said previously, all the permits are okay to ask for a family member. The only thing that there are two laws in Spain, okay, for immigration. There is like the general law and what we call ley de emprendedores, in which the nomad visa is. We have felt as lawyers that when you don't have a registered couple, but not only if you are from the same sex, or also if you are from different sex, if you don't have a registered couple, it's more difficult. They are reluctant to recognize the relationship. In any case, you know that nomad is also can be applied from Spain. And in Spain, in some cities, you can register your couple as soon as you arrive, because there are like two things, okay? There is the marriage and there is the registration of the couple. And there is what the third option that I'm saying, which is difficult sometimes with nomad, that is just showing the relationship. It's true that showing the relationship is difficult, but they are accepting, as for example, there is coming a couple through Nomad from Mexico, and we have done a declaration at the notary, and they have accepted. There are another options that are coming to a city in Spain that allows you to register the couple as soon as you get here, because this is different. Marriage is not different, but registering the couple is different from city to city. So maybe you can decide to, in the beginning, settle in a city that you that they allow you to register, then you can move. Or of course, if you are married, no difficulty at all. As I'm saying, this for every immigration permit, if you are married, is a perfect situation. If not, maybe we have to do, as I said, a little bit more of a strategy, but it's just because maybe it's more difficult to show the relationship.
Yes, I understand that marriage is the same rules for the whole country, but when it comes to pareja de hecho or common law couple, the rules vary depending on the region, and also
Exactly.
how fast you can register and everything else. So this is where knowing the different rules of the different regions come into play.
Exactly.
Are there any special considerations for LGBT plus applicants seeking for non-lucrative visa?
No, not really. As I said, they will have the same rights as any other citizen in Spain. So it's just what worries you. So we have a very good healthcare in every city, but it's true that you have to know that in Spain, what we call comunidad autónoma, okay, have their own healthcare, okay, which is public, and everyone can go to the public health. But it's true that they are, for example, they are indexed, that in some cities it's considered better than others. The same than education. If you are bringing children, if your children will access the public school, so you can choose if you want them to go to the private school. But of course, they have rights, all the rights to go to the public school. So there are index also, like in every country, not only in cities but in parts of the cities. So maybe you choose an area that you like more that school, because schools will be normally your place for your children to school is designed by the area that you live in. So these are the kind of things that they have to really check what are the priorities. Is the priority the public healthcare, or the priority is I don't know, the young community to go and be able to share experience with a lot of people, or education is their priority, because really they will check the index for that kind of priority in Spain.
Also, something to consider is that the non-lucrative visa can only be applied for from consulates from outside of Spain, different than the digital nomad visa.
That is true. But on the other side, as I was saying, there are two laws. I said that there is the general law and the ley de emprendedores. The non-lucrative visa is in the general law. And in the general law, the people that resolve the application from general law are much more flexible with couples that are not registered. So for me, it's much easier to get a family member for a non-lucrative of someone that is not registered than a family member of a nomad to someone that is not registered. If they have the marriage certificate or the couple registration, is the same. But if you don't have a registration, you have the same right, but they are more open to approve it, or they ask for less evidences, in this case, in the general law, which is the non-lucrative.
That's super interesting. What specific immigration challenges do transgender individuals face when moving to Spain?
Well, really, I think that the main concern, which I've seen with my clients, is filling out the forms, really, because there is a place where you have to say your gender, and they haven't, I see that is a little bit old-fashioned. They haven't included all the genders, which we haven't had any problem then applying. But it's true that I see that they ask me what to put. So what we have to put is what is in your document. So if everything has changed, if you have your sex changed in all the documents, then you can put your gender, your actual gender. If it's not changed yet legally in your documents, then you should put your previous gender. This is not a problem at all in the application. Just for you to understand, for you it's very important, that question. For people that are resolving, they don't really check this, really.
They just want to see a match.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to see a match, and that the person applying is the person who is submitting the document, and that's it. It's not really a question about the gender or misgendering. It's a question about just like everything just matches. The names are the same, and sometimes we have this problematic. And I hear from people who, for example, they have dual citizenship, and with one passport they have two last names, and for example, with the American passport they only have one last name, and then when they need to do citizenship processes, whatever, there is a mismatch, and it can bring the same problem. So you just want to avoid those, because in the end it's more time that you need to spend just like changing the whole thing.
Exactly. Very good example.
Let's hope that this doesn't happen, but in the event that happens, what would happen if same-sex marriages stop being legal in the country of origin?
They have just asked me that because some news in the US. So really, we have to see what happens, okay? So if you have your marriage certificate from your country and it's still legal, you cannot get married in Spain because you are already married, okay? Because they were asking me, some couples, if they can get married here, but they are already married, in this case, in the US. No, you cannot get married here because here in Spain, they will ask you to show that you are single in order to get married or divorced, and your documents are not single or divorced. Something different is that really this come into place and your marriage suddenly no, after a process is not longer valid because they cancel them. Then yes, if they cancel them and in the law of your country is not valid that marriage, then yes, we could get married here. But you are right now, if your marriage is yet valid in your country, you cannot register another couple or you cannot do another marriage because you're still married. If this goes further and is cancelled, of course you will be able to get married here in Spain or register your couple. They were asking also if they can do a will here, of course, and this is from the same sex couples and for any foreigner living in Spain. Is safer to do a will here because sometimes it's very confusing for all the family members. If you were in a country and now you are in another country, there is a lot of confusion between the goods that are here and there. So it's very recommendable to everyone that is living abroad to do the will in that country, okay? And yes, of course, you can do it if you are from the LGBT plus community. The same as everyone can do it here in Spain, and it's very recommendable.
Does Spain's public healthcare system accommodate the unique needs of LGBT plus individuals, such as hormone treatments for transgender individuals?
Yes, I do. Of course, it's something that has a lot of, especially for young people, because what I have seen, because of my experience of lawyers, is that very young people are now already aware, maybe, that they are transgenders. Okay, so there is also a very protect community for young people here in Spain that doing certain exams to see if they are mature enough. They can also access to these kind of services. Of course, older people too. I have to tell you, Spain, which has very good public health, has also people waiting. So it's not, I cannot tell you that is public health in Spain is perfect because there are urgencies, which something happens to you, you go directly to the hospital. Okay, perfect. But even if you have a cancer, even if you need any hormones treatment, there are waiting lists, as for every treatment in Spain. But yes, you have the right. And you were telling me what are the services and what are the protections in Spain. If the hospital doesn't want to give you this treatment, you could sue the hospital because this is very protected also.
I'm now thinking about people who move to Spain with, for example, with a non-lucrative visa. I understand that unless they are UK retirees, they have to provide proof of private health insurance coverage. But after 1 year as resident in Spain, they can access the public healthcare system using something called the Convenio Especial. Yes, that grants them access to the public healthcare system that will then provide access to this kind of treatments. Is that correct?
It's correct. So depending in the city, you get access to that convenio before or after, okay? And the thing of the convenio is that you pay a little, okay? Because if you are working, you get public health because you are paying taxes of what you are working. If you are not working because you have a non-lucrative visa, you can get access to this public health paying a little, okay? So the good thing about these convenios, sometimes better than the private insurance, is that everything is covered. Because maybe, as you are saying, a private health insurance can tell you that maybe that treatment, the hormones treatment, is not covered. But as we said, public health always cover everything. So and this is a treatment or any kind of treatment that you need as a transgender will be covered. A good idea to get the convenio, pay a little, so get public health and get access to these treatments that maybe the private health doesn't offer you.
Maybe as a clarification, if you use the Convenio Especial, I understand that the medicines cost will not be subsidized unless you are working. If you are working, of course, you have full access to the public healthcare system and medicines get subsidized by the public state. If you're not working and you use the Convenio Especial, you will pay a monthly fee, 57 euros if you are younger than 65, 157 if you're older than 65. But the medicines cost, you will have to pay retail price, yes, when you go to the pharmacy. But the treatment itself, the doctors and everything, this is covered. Just the medicines cost will not be subsidized as if you were working.
Yes, exactly. But then there are a lot of organizations here in Spain specialists in supporting this community that can also give you some help for the medicines.
With the Golden Visa phasing out on April 3rd, 2025, what other visa options are non-EU LGBT plus individuals considering for long-term residence in Spain?
Well, as I said, I'm not making a difference between LGBT plus community or someone that is not from that community, because really we are very well protected. Doesn't matter what is your condition. The normal criteria, or the normal visa that we have as an option to the Golden Visa is the non-lucrative visa, because what was worrying more to Golden Visas is not being here 6 months per year. There are a lot of Golden Visas that were choosing Golden Visas not to be here 6 months per year because they don't want, or because they don't want to become tax residents. They have different circumstances that they want to have a valid visa without being here 6 months per year. So non-lucrative has become an option since a ruling from the Supreme Court saying that they cannot make mandatory with the non-lucrative to be 6 months per year. So this is a very good option. And as I was saying, if you don't have your relationship registered, it's even easier to go through the non-lucrative than from the Golden Visa, just because they are more flexible evaluating your evidences as a couple. So it's for the LGBT plus community, especially if they don't have a registration of the couple, it's going to be much easier to go through the non-lucrative than from the Golden Visa. I have had Golden Visas denied. Then I win this in the appeal, but that is always stressful. But I have had Golden Visas denied with children in common, just because they were not married. Okay. So for you to understand, when they don't have a good criteria in that area, it's difficult always to work with them. For the non-lucrative, they are very aware that they have to accept couples even if they are not registered.
Now, before you mentioned that, as of today, people under non-lucrative visa, in order to renew, they don't need to stay those 180 days as per a court ruling. But with the new changes in the regulation, by the way, we have a video about it. I will be sharing the link right here. As per this new regulation that takes effect on May 20th, 2025, there is a requirement of staying in Spain at least 183 days in order to renew the non-lucrative visa.
Yeah, but it's the same. So it is always in the what is called reglamento, okay? That is what we have modified, a bylaw, okay? It has always been in the reglamento that a non-lucrative has to be 6 months per year in order to renew. But what the Supreme Court has said is that cannot be in the reglamento, should be in a law, which is like higher than a reglamento, higher than a bylaw, until they don't add in the law, not in the reglamento, what is just recently modified, and it says that has to be 6 months per year in order to renew. But until they don't add it in the law, that is what the Supreme Court said, they cannot make mandatory to be 6 months per year in order to renew. So we are in the very same situation. They have modified the reglamento. In the new reglamento, it's mentioned that they have to be 6 months per year and non-lucrative in order to renew. But the Supreme Court said that this shouldn't be in a reglamento. It's in the law. Until they don't change the law, they are going to have to renew the non-lucrative even if you haven't been 6 months per year.
That's a very, very interesting tip, especially for people who are worried about this new requirement that is going to take effect. But as you said, it is very easily to defend the fact to stay less and still be able to renew as per this Supreme Court ruling. How does family reunification work for LGBT plus couples or families in Spain?
Well, depending on your immigration permit that you are choosing, it works one way or another, okay? Like the latest visas that immigration in Spain has designed are always easier and quicker, like family members of highly qualified, of nomads, of intra-company. All these family members can come from the beginning, from the very first day, and will have a work permit from the very first day. There are even, sometimes the family member are even in a better position than the principal. Because, for example, in a nomad, the principal can only get clients from Spain in a maximum of 20% of their income, the family member doesn't have that limitation. If you are in the general law, okay, if you just have you've been a student, imagine you've been a student and then you have modified to a work permit. So you will have a cuenta propia or cuenta ajena. That are the name of the permits that you have in Spain if you are in the general law. And then you get married in your country. What you have to know is that you have to be 1 year as resident in Spain in order to do the reunification. And the reunification takes a little longer because you apply from here, there are 2-3 months to approve it, and then your family member has to apply for a visa at the consulate. But there are strategies. So maybe you have a cuenta ajena, or a cuenta propia, but you are also eligible to be a highly qualified worker. So if you want to bring your family member and you see that it's better for you to be a nomad, to be a highly qualified, maybe the way to go is changing to the kind of visa, and that way you can get your family member as soon as you have the permit, also in 20 days. You know that in that law, everything is resolved in 20 days, and with a work permit, which is also very important. In the general law, they also come with a work permit, okay? The thing is that you need to be living for a year and that the process is long. In the ley de emprendedores, you can do it from the beginning. You don't have to be 1 year in order to bring your family, and they get a work permit from the beginning also, and it results in 20 days.
What are the top 3 tips for LGBT plus individuals preparing to move to Spain?
Decide very well what kind of permit you want, okay? Because of the difference, you may get some better are not better rights. Is working or not working is important for you or not? Healthcare is important for you or not? I had a same-sex couple, for example, that they were very worried about getting healthcare, for example, because a pre-existing condition. You know that when you come with a non-lucrative, you need to have private health, and private health, private insurance doesn't cover pre-existing conditions. Then we decided to switch to a nomad in order for them to have both public health insurance. So really, my recommendation is analyzing what is more important for you, what you need from Spain. You need healthcare, or you need to be able, both of you, to work, and then you will be able to decide what is better for you. The same with the cities. Spain has the same rights in the whole country, but it's true that depending on what you like more, maybe you prefer one city than another. That are my tips, and of course, be well informed. Not only in the consulates. In the consulates, sometimes they don't really know, and they don't advise you as well. For example, maybe if you come to study, they tell you to come with a student visa, but maybe you prefer to get a non-lucrative, okay? Because for the long term, because you don't want to study as many hours. So just get really good advice, because it's your future and you have a lot of rights and a lot of possibilities in Spain.
And this is where it comes into play, speaking with professionals who know exactly what options you have the knowledge, the different regions, the different regulations as well, and your experience in the different consulates, your experience with different, the goals that you want to pursue. As you were mentioning before, maybe you want to stay here for long term. If you come as a student, it's going to be tougher than if you come with a non-lucrative visa, because student is a permit of stay versus non-lucrative, it's a residence permit that enables you the possibility to become Spaniard even after a certain amount of years, depending on the situation. So there's so many different roads you can go, and I'm sure that consulting with a professional like Sterna will help you out understanding what your options are and help you take the best decision.